I'm at Grace Church Road. I went to Waynesboro to bring this man down to this address, and now he's trying to force his way into a house. I'm afraid to move my vehicle. They're fighting in there.
It's inside the house now?
Yeah.
You have your doors locked?
It's open. I'm in a van.
You need to make yourself safe, okay? Even if you've got to drive away from there to get away from him and close that and lock that door. Do that for me now, please.
Okay, wait a minute.
Boo. Boo, 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 boo. Hey, Cheryl, you're the first one to post, besides Streamlabs and myself. Anyways, we're going to get a few minutes head start on tonight's live because we do have our members one that's coming up at, it's going to be considered 11 Eastern Standard Time, your guys' time. And that's about half an hour kind of after this live ends. And there's a lot. Hey, Frank. Hey, everybody. Hey, Kyle. There's Kyle. Kyle, you're second to type. Wow, so slow. Frank, we expect it from Frank. Frank probably tripped on his way to get into the. It was such a lineup to get in here, wasn't there, Frank? On there, but yeah, because there's lots of stuff going on in the news, a lot. There's the Murdoch. There's how do you say his name? Tyre. How do you say his name exactly?
Tyre. Tyre
sounds about
Tyre
right.
Nichols.
Yeah. And that is just horrific. And so, like I said, there's a lot going on. There's and it seems like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but all these other things are popping into my feed, like the lawyer, is doing the Murdoch thing, and stuff like that. And nothing that one doesn't really, I've never paid attention to that one. I've heard about it, never paid attention to it. Idaho, what was it? The response, the state's response for, what's the word I'm looking for, Adam? State's response for
Discovery.
Okay. Discovery. Thank you. That was the word. So even like today, it's all I've been doing is just like doing a bunch of stuff. And, for the members live after this and then, of course, this one. So we'll just get a head start. And as people pop in, I know we started, 7-8 minutes earlier or whatever. Hey, BJ. Hey, Outback, Frank, Kyle, and Cheryl. How are you guys all? And then the other 20 people that are in here. Well, since you guys are in here, though, could you guys hit the like button for us? That would be good. Oh, hey, Peace. How are you?
Hey, Peace.
20 Tab. Hello, 20 Tab. I don't recall seeing your name before. Are you a new subscriber, 20 Tab?
20 Tab. Oh.
20.
Oh, yeah, it is. Sorry.
20. I thought it was my sister playing a trick on me for a sec because I'm a twin.
I can't see tonight.
Yeah. On there. So let's see here. We'll give it another minute here, but I'll get the thing ready. We're gonna pull up, I think, the Idaho case first. Am I saying it right? Tyre. It sounds about right. Ty. I want to say Tyre, but it's not Tyre.
It's Tyre.
Tyre. Yeah. What a horrifically, honestly, Adam, I only watched a piece of the video of video one. There is let's see here.
I think there's four different segments to it. Well, it's an hour long in total, so this is still.
It's an hour long in total, and I just think it's really horrific. And I only watched a bit of another one from a different clip that you had sent me, and honestly, I don't understand that. We'll get into it later, but I don't understand that type of mentality. And especially when it's of their own, but regardless of that, as a human being in general,
right?
To treat someone and that way, Like, I don't understand how they even justify that whatsoever, knowing that there's cameras and everything nowadays, and they literally have body cams.
Yeah.
Like, how do they justify that? It's just sickening.
Yeah.
Sickening. Hey, Louie.
Hello.
How are you?
Hey, Lewis.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, hold on. Talk for a sec, 'cause I hear an echo. Hi, George. How are you? Thanks for the coffees the other day again, George. Appreciate that. Bio. When I drop the bio link, that's our link for those coffees. It's a link for our Twitter, Facebooks, all those different things on there, the merch site, etc. How's Louie?
I'm okay. How are you?
Well, living the dream as always. Yeah. Husband fed me KFC.
Well, good.
Yeah, I'm good.
I had chicken too.
How's your eye today, buddy?
Same as it's been the last few days. It's moving, but seeing it, it's worse. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Just got to play by ear.
Yeah, is it driving you batty though?
Now that it's moving like it, well, not like it should, but now that it's moving different directions, it's making it more confusing to look at things, if that makes sense. Yeah. So I don't know,
buddy. I know it sucks regardless. Yeah.
As long as I'm not moving, I can see things, but now it's like everything seems blurry unless I'm looking peripherally. Peripherally, I can see things straight ahead. It's kind of blurry, but if I'm moving, I need the patch on no matter what.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just on a different screen for 1 second as well.
Yeah.
On there, customers. 1 second there. Okay. So again, for anyone that's coming in as well, we do have our members only live. Again, that's for the members, and if anyone does wish to become a member, there's a link. I'm just dropping it right there. It's $1.99, regardless if you're a member. Well, I mean, the people that aren't members, of course, don't get to see that information tonight. I love how people click when they're pissed or whatever. They put clickbait. I don't think we've ever done a clickbait, and we don't work that way. If we say it, it's because it's true. So, and if you're not a member, then either you can become a member, but members again deserve those privileges of certain things. And the person that had given us the information had requested it that way, first and foremost. So the members ones are nice as well for, just being able to talk, in a sense, more in that little bit one-on-one feel and stuff like that. Anyway, we had a good time last time, I think.
Yeah,
it ended up being about, a couple hours, few hours long. Let me just take this off the screen for a sec. Let's quickly do some hellos. So, hey, Cheryl. Hey, Kyle Davis. Lewis?
Yeah.
You doing Kyle's dishes for him today? No, didn't think so.
It's not Tuesday.
I know, yeah. Frank? Hey, Frank.
I'll come by and do them. I'll come by and do them later, Kyle.
Yeah. I'll spit shine them. That's about all as far as you'll get out of me. Never silent. Hey, peace. 20 tab. Hey, 20 tab. Welcome. Fibro. George, again, thanks for the coffees. Greetings to you, lovely people. I'm quite curious about the topic staged crime scene. There is a lot in local rights circle, who and when staged. Yeah, we'll get on. We'll see what we can cover today. Again, just because we do have our members live on. So that's why we're getting just a little bit of a head start here. Just because there's different things to go over. Another night shift in Spain with you guys. Is that what it is? Hey, Streamlabs, how are you? Yes, thank you so much. What happened to your eye? PJ, where have you been? Where have you been, PJ? I know you've been around here. Yeah. Did you want to give a quick rundown again for anyone that's watching that doesn't know, even though Lewis doesn't have his eye patch on today? Or else he does it for me because he knows that it just turns me on too much, that he's starting to look like Jack Sparrow and stuff.
Trying to be respectful.
Yeah. So, and hey, Joe Moser, Deb's in the house. Callie, hey, Callie girl, love you, girl. I was when you started early. I'm using to have to wait 5 extra minutes. Yeah, I know. Trust me, I was sitting there going tap 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 tap. Come on, well, because again, time goes by so fast as well. And then of course, like I said, with extra information coming in today, we'll talk about that stuff. So, do you want to do a quick rundown, quickly, Lewis? Again, just quickly for those people that don't know what happened to your eye.
Well, maybe they can tell me because we still don't know. But no,
Right.
it was right before Christmas. I started seeing almost double vision, and my right eye stopped moving. So I went in, and they said there's some nerve issues, but they don't know exactly what, and it'll take 9 months to a year to know if it's permanent or not.
Yeah.
And a couple weeks ago, it started getting really worse, more disorienting. But I realized it's because the eye is now moving, which they said it probably wouldn't do. So it's doing things the doctor said it wouldn't do. So now I'm experiencing weird vision, but we'll play it by ear and see. The problem is getting an appointment with a specialist.
Yeah.
It's 6 months out. That's the problem. So my appointment, the earliest, was for July or August.
I know, that's what sucks, right? They take
Yeah.
forever. Oh, I'm sorry. I got to get this in. We have to stop everything right now. Dab, I love you. Love you, Dab. Dab, did I say I love you? Love you so much, Dab. Dab, can you hear me? Can you scribble that down in your notebook, Deb? Sunny loves Deb. There we go. Okay. And hello, twin. Hello. Like mine's 10 minutes older than me, but we're totally opposites. I'm not sure if you two are. If I'm more fraternal. Me and my twin are fraternals on there. But anyways, for you, Lewis, I just hope the best for you, of course. I mean, you know that it's like my husband. I hate to see my husband suffer, and I want to see Adam suffer, but I really hate to see you suffer. You know, I mean, honestly, yeah, cancers can handle it, right, Adam?
That's right.
Okay, and if you guys don't know too, of course, just quickly on a Tuesday at 7:30 Central Time, 8:30 Eastern Central Time, we're gonna have to move Eastern Standard Time. What did I say?
Eastern Central Time.
Oh, sure. Is that what I said? Close enough. Okay. Thanks, Peter. Okay, so just so you know, we're gonna have to move the Just Ask Lewis and Sunny live to a little bit later. A little bit later. Yes. Well, we'll have to double check earlier or later, one of the two. Drunk Turkey Show will be on Tuesday for about an hour's time. I reached out and Daniel answered me back and was like, heck yeah, okay. And he said he's heard of us too, you know, and I'm just like, of course, right? I'll bet, I'm assuming. Yeah, no. So anyways, and then of course I dropped a shorter version of the 4-hour live with Psychic Sleuth, and I feel like I did a good job on it, to be honest with you. It took me almost all day yesterday to do it, and I just thought it was, you know, really great to show things. I'm always, like I said, happy to do things because not only did I want to do it for you guys to break it down, but just to, you know, you guys can go look at the information yourself on Psychic Sleuth's channel. But I wanted to condense it because even as I was putting the video together and doing it, I was just like, dang, like I wasn't, sometimes when you're hosting something, you don't necessarily get to listen as well at the same time. And then when I have my quiet time, I can listen back, and she did an amazing job. So I give credit where credit's due. Thanks, Psychic Sleuth, for joining us. We're going to have a fun night one night coming up here soon. And yeah, so Drunk Turkey Show Tuesday at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. That's 7:30 Central, 6:30 Mountain, 5:30 Pacific. And that's how I roll. Yeah.
Can I say really quickly? I just want to say, hey, Chaotic, and
hey, Chaotic.
Congratulations. Yeah, congratulations on hitting 1K.
Yeah, I don't know what her view time is, but gotta have that view time too. But yes, but congratulations on she was at 977 yesterday. I happened to pop in there. I usually actually don't click, and then I decided to click on it. What a funny video that Captain Howdy did. That was priceless. Those right. Ones are special. Those are special moment ones.
I mean, yes, sadly, it was not for a funny reason that he put the video out, but
of course not. But at those things, you just have to either laugh it off because you're not going to change how those people, those other channels think and do things. We're talking about the trash channels when we say that, the ones that are trying to always hurt people, hurt creators, you know what I mean? Those ones. So Captain Howdy put out a great video, basically, calling the person out.
Without
And
ever using their name.
yeah, without even using their name. But most people that know that channel, will know exactly who they're. I mean, all you have to do is listen to the voice. Sadly for me, he's a Canadian. So that should give you a hint right there. Uh, Lewis, so yes, so chaotic. Thank you very
Grandma.
much. Nice to see you. Let's see here. Mustang's in the house. Let's see here. True crime and other stuff. Hello. How are you? Grandma Watch is in the house. Grandma's in love with me, she said. But I don't know. I think Ray's fighting. I feel like Ray gets a little jealous.
I was hanging out with Grandma and Ray like all night last night.
Yeah.
Because we were in Chaotic's chat, and then we were in the Stands chat, and then they were in the chat when I was on Chaotic's show again last night.
Oh. I literally stayed in there for the time that I basically said I was high, but I wasn't. I went in there, I think, for another 1 minute after that, and I was like, no, I can't. I got too much stuff to do. I was making thumbnails, and those.
I was stalking Grandma, and Grandma said last night that she's an MMA fighter.
Oh yeah.
Because I was joking that I said that I said apparently all the men on YouTube are MMA fighters.
Mm-hmm. And again, you guys, thanks for joining us. I'm sorry if, again, we have to maybe rush a little bit through things. We do have a members live after this. I did drop the link if you do want to become a member. The members live will be to do with a family member that was having a discussion. It's actually quite sad, to be honest with you, once it's read. So that's what the members one is. The person did request that it be done in a members only one, and so we will appreciate his request and the confidentiality for it. So if anyone does want to become a member, just join. If you don't, it's fine. It's all good. But for the members that are members, we'll see you there after this live. And okay, so let's start off. Okay, Adam or Lewis, did you guys have anything before we get going with tonight's live? Did you guys have anything at all that you wanted to bring up?
No, I sent you the few little things that I saw today.
Yeah, I'll probably pass on the Google one.
That's fine. I didn't mean to play that one.
Google has been laying off their massage.
Their in-house massage therapist.
I mean, heaven forbid that this should happen. Like Google laying off their massage. I mean, who else is going to turn my video yellow? I mean, if they're not, if they're having massages, they're probably going green right fast. But if they're not, they're probably just turning yellow right away. And then, so they're probably a little angry about losing some of those massage therapists. Heaven forbid, I mean, I don't know what the world is turning into. Every day when I went to work, I had a massage therapist too.
I mean, they're going to have to literally go on their off time when they're not being paid.
No.
And leave the office to get a massage. I mean, what kind of world do we live in?
I don't know. It's just disgusting all the way around, isn't it? Hi, Diamond Eyes. How are you? Hi, Phil Bond. Phil knows what I think of his name. Where's my McDougal tree? Where's QWERTY? Who else is hiding? Where else is hiding? I know there's other people hiding. Hi, trolls. How are it's probably
thank you, true crime and other stuff.
Yeah. So we're going to start off with the Idaho case. And so Adam sent me a clipping remember how there was the basically the conflict of interest. So Zaina Kernodle's mom, Kara Kernodle, Northington, has Ann Taylor as her lawyer, representing her as a public defender. Now, she was handed the case of Brian Koberger. So, so you get it. You get that you get laid that case, and they didn't know that she had a conflict of interest. But instead of choosing the case, because she got to know Kara Kernodle, and more because she had signed power of attorney over, etc., etc. So that's what we're kind of going to see in the clip with News Nation here is exactly, not only was there two, there was three. Yeah. But I'm going to let you guys watch that, and three conflicts of interest in a sense, or three people she was representing. I swear to God that they moved that around. It used to be Chrome tab, I swear it was on that side. Anyways, so let's go to that. What did I do with it, Adam? Oh, there it is. Share. Okay, so let's play this. It's about 5 minutes and 30 seconds long. Take us off screen. He fell. And yes, there is a warrant out for Kara's arrest, and she's on the run. And what's disgusting to me about that, though, kind of, is that she was literally talking on News Nation. Apparently, it was said that Brian Enton was the driver of that vehicle, and he would that's what I was reading. I don't know if that's true or not, but it was on Twitter. And either way, I thought it was odd. I'm sitting there looking at this mom of Zaina that has a warrant out for arresting, yet she's on freaking News Nation in a car on the side of the road with somebody that, So
I think they were driving, yeah.
Well, they were meaning they were stopped, but
I don't think they were stopped because I think it looked to me
like they were stopped. Because
they were, okay.
The reason why I know that is because the whole, well, first of all, I could tell, but secondly, it was because, when somebody opens up the car door and it goes ding, ding, ding.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, let's watch it, guys, and then we can see what your thoughts are on it.
Here, obviously. Unfortunately, we've got two of the best people to help me do that. Stacey Honowitz is a 34. There's a lot to unpack here, obviously. Unfortunately, we've got two of the best people to help me do that. Stacey Honowitz is a 34-year veteran of the Florida State Attorney's Office and the supervisor of the Sex Crimes and Child Abuse Unit. Ken Belkin is New York's criminal defense attorney. He currently gets cases assigned to him by a judge, and he defends them. He is on the assigned counsel panel. Stacey, as the prosecutor, I'd like you to go first here. Do you expect that the prosecutor in this particular case is going to put forth a motion pretty quickly to try to sort all of this out?
Well, I mean, you've covered it all in the very beginning. You've covered every issue that has to go on in this case, and it's about this conflict. So it's very rare that you see the prosecutor come forward and say there's a conflict, because we generally don't ever know about it. It's different in this case because everybody knows about it. You normally see the defense attorney come into court and tells the court, you need to assign a special public defender because we have a conflict. They are always the one that brings it up because, again, the prosecutor doesn't know anything, doesn't know the relationship between the clients, doesn't know how long they've met with the client, if they even met with the client. You have to remember, in the public defender's office, just like in the state attorney's office, the cases are assigned. So we don't know, once that case was assigned, did that person actually go and see the client? Is it just a name on the list now that it's going to be a potential client? But in this case, evidently, she did spend time with this mother because she turned over some kind of power of attorney. She asked her to help her get into rehab. And so a prosecutor is going to say there is a conflict because that's a witness for me. And there's special confidences that you might know. And now you're representing the person that killed her daughter. So yes,
it's also, Stacey, it's also just like the smell test too, right? Like everything that you just said, yes, but also just the smell test of pristine justice. And maybe, Ken, you can jump in here as well. Yesterday, I said it was one parent that had been represented by Ann Taylor. Now it's three parents of the deceased, of the murder victims being represented by Ann Taylor, who's representing the murder defendant. So it gets worse. But I do have to ask you about the public defender system, because I want to give her the benefit of the doubt. I thought maybe it was just a mix-up with the name Karen Northington, not Kernodle, and it turns out the warrant says Kara Kernodle. Very unique name, not easy to forget. But there are only 13 of these death-qualified public defenders in the state of Idaho. So take me from there and tell me where all of this could be an innocent mistake.
Well, sure. And this is what we call the appearance of impropriety. It's not clear a conflict exists, but it appears like there's something improper going on here. She represents the mother of a victim that was murdered by a man she now represents. Not only that, she represented that mother, 2 mothers, in fact, but one of those mothers she represented on 4 cases, one of which was currently pending now. A potential conflict has arisen. The person who potentially murdered her daughter is being hauled before the court, and she's been potentially being assigned to that case. What she should have done was to decline that representation. She did something the opposite. She's put in a notice of withdrawal of the victim's mother's case, which is totally improper. Because if a potential conflict arises, it doesn't mean the lawyer is served with a menu of options. They can choose which client to represent. Conflict of interest laws are in place because there is a relationship already. There is an attorney-client relationship. Confidences have been conveyed. There is confidential material that's been shared, and you don't want to betray those confidences. You don't get to pick and choose which case you take on a conflict of interest. You stay with the existing relationship and you would decline the new one. That is the proper thing to do here, which it appears she did the exact opposite.
And Stacey, just weigh in again on how serious this is, right? Like, as I understand it, every jurisdiction is a little different. The judge could pull them in to chambers and say, tell me everything before this gets out in public. And I want to know every single meeting that you had with these 3 parents, but you tell me how it works.
Well, listen, every jurisdiction is different, and they will handle it the best way that they possibly can. But this is now on the news every single, it's been headlined all day today. So something has to take place. You're talking about a capital murder case, and everything you said is correct. You want to go in with clean hands. You don't want to try this case all over again. The worst thing you can do is to have the lawyer go in, try this case. And we knew that these conflicts existed. So a myriad of things can happen. The prosecutor can take it upon himself to say, listen, judge, what's going on here? We need to have a hearing. You will have an in-camera hearing because nobody will ever be able to know what those confidences were unless the judge orders her to disclose who she spoke to and when and for how long. But the defense attorney is 100% right. It is the appearance.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider.
Okay. There we go. Okay. So, wow, what a, wow, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean, what are the chances though, really, right? I mean, one still, and then another one. What do you think, Lewis?
Well, I'm just hearing this for the first time now, but did I hear correctly that she was already assigned a case with one of the parents and she chose to drop that case and take this case?
Correct. That's exactly what she did. She was assigned to Zana Kernodle. So Kara Kernodle, Northington, and just like, even though I noticed that too, like on the thing is that, she goes by Northington, but on the arrest warrant is Kernodle. And it's like not a common name, obviously. But so she's spent like, I think 4 cases with her. She has a plethora. I put out a video. Okay. And it wasn't to slam her in any way, shape or form. In fact, it was really because she's already out there and some of this information was actually already out there. And I just put, in a sense, the rest of it out there, even though maybe somebody else did. I don't know. Either way, it was more to bring awareness of, like, this lady has spent basically 20 years of her life, drugs, alcohol, etc., injury to a child on a few and stuff like that, a couple of arrest warrants. And, she's obviously a very lost soul that has a very bad addiction. And as we've seen her, she was literally on News Nation the other night talking about how she felt about this, the lawyer, basically what she feels, stabbed her in the back and turned on her, for the Brian Kohlberger case. And you could tell she has a total meth face, sadly. So, it's just a very sad situation. So not only has she been struggling with that, and then on top of that, compiled with that, she loses her daughter as well, which usually only sends someone down another hole, because it's easier to go, south than it is to go north sometimes, especially when we're talking years. I don't know what happened that she has, turned down this road. I think of my niece, and my niece has been 18 years. Thank you, 20 Tab.
Thank you.
I'll split that with my twin spirit myself. No, I'm just kidding. No, thank you so much, 20 Tab. Nice to have you in here. And again, if you guys could hit that like button for the for us for, well, they say algorithm, so yeah, it's really what it helps. Basically means we want other people to see our video. So if you guys could do that, that would be great. But thanks so much, 20. Some music should go off in just a second here. Usually takes a little bit for my OBS to kick in, but so you'll hear the music that plays behind when somebody does donate. I need you now.
20 Tab super chat. $20. Thank you.
Thank you so much, 20 Tab. Appreciate that. Does really help out. And again, and George, I've thanked him about 3 times already. Thanks for the coffees yesterday. So yeah. So what do you think of that?
If anything, it's like skating on the ends of misconduct. But now you're risking 2 different cases having issues in the courts because of the conflict. I mean, I could see them overlooking it if they're just in a jury. I mean, a defense pool where they get pulled, their names are in there, but they're supposed to be the ones that can say, "Look, there's a conflict of interest here." Not, "Oh, I want the one that's going to give me more publicity and maybe make me more money." That's not the right way to do that. I mean, that's what pushes you towards misconduct, not anything other than a mistake in the court, but her actions.
Yeah, I mean, what do you? Go ahead, Adam.
I would say, and I understand that she is one of a handful of lawyers in the public defender's pool that are qualified to handle a DP case in Idaho. But I think it's fair to say at this point, it's crossed the line of inappropriate, in my opinion. I think she's a highly qualified attorney. I think she's, she probably would be a really good lawyer to be on Brian's defense. But I don't think there's any way she's going to be able to stay on this case at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to the ethics, the law of ethics.
Well, like Ashley Banfield said, it doesn't pass the smell test to me.
Yeah,
and like I said, it's nothing against her or her character. I don't think that she can carry on as his attorney in good.
Yeah,
with and have a pristine road to the justice system working.
She is not the only public defender out there. There are others. You do what's right in the sake of your clients, and for both Brian and for Zaina's mom, they deserve the utmost. Regardless of if they're, what people deem as guilty or innocent, everyone deserves, the proper law representation. And this conflict of interest, to me, again, I mean, I agree with them. I think it's clout chasing. First and foremost, I don't care if she's not the only person out there that's a good public defender. I just think there are
other public defenders in the state that are qualified and certified to do DP cases.
Yeah,
I think mostly, I think it just sets the entire case up perfectly for an appeal. Regardless of how, if he were to be found innocent or to be found guilty, I think it's ripe then for an appeal.
Oh, shoot. I recover my projects. Give me 1 second, guys. I need to.
More likely a mistrial than anything.
Oops, cancel. Just give me a second. I got to recover my things. I forgot that I rebooted my computer prior to this. And then it closed off all my things that I brought in from things. So, yeah, I mean, you guys feel free now. Feel free to talk about just for a second. What did we say? Tyre Nichols. Tyre Nichols. Again, you know what? I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be showing those video clips on here.
They're all over the news. I mean, if anyone wants to see that,
I will gladly drop you guys the link that Who Dis had put in to our chat, and it's about an hour long. There's the 4 videos there. Okay, So I'll just quickly share that screen just to show you. No, that's not it. Is that the one? No. Where's the Venmo one? Oh, right up here. Okay. So the link I just dropped, you guys, is you guys can go here and watch all four, spend an hour watching them. Yeah, I just don't feel like dealing with it because this is the type of content, where you really should put your live as a a certain, like, there's different things that you put it as, not for kids and blah blah blah. But then there's more like, what you call like viewer discretion type content. And I just don't feel I don't like watching any human being, regardless, ever to be attacked in the manner of which Mr. Nichols was. It's disgusting. It's horrific. It's abominable. Absolutely. Just, I don't even, inhumane. And it's just, I can't handle looking at stuff like that. I watched literally about 40 seconds and I couldn't believe the one police officer literally drop kick him in the face like 3 times that I seen. And then the other one starts taking a baton to him.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck is that? Yeah, so I just want you to know I dropped the link for you guys, but just so horrific, so horrific. But give me a second. I'm just gonna go load up my things that I was gonna show tonight as well.
Sure. So Adam, did the attorney make that known to the court that there was a conflict, or was this presented by somebody else?
I know that I'm not sure. I think that I'm trying to think if Ann Taylor was appointed by the judge, which, I'm not. I do know that she withdrew from Xana's mother's case on January 3rd, I believe. But as far as I don't know who uncovered it.
Do we know how far they were into the mother's case, or was she just assigned to that recently, and that was just a?
It was ongoing. It was ongoing, and they had enough of a relationship that she'd handed over power of attorney to her.
Okay.
So it wasn't,
they've already been to court at least once.
I believe, yes, yeah, and they have spent physical time together. Because I know some public defenders are just assigned a case and they're on a list, and
yeah,
and this they were a little bit further along in their relationship than that.
That's not a. I'm gonna have to disagree with you then. If they were that far into it, that's an unethical way to do business. I think there's a moral conflict in her life, and to choose fame over substance is not proper. When you're representing people's lives, that's not a simple matter to take loosely like that. It's just, I can't morally agree with somebody that would do that in a position that they're in. It's not like it's a lay person. You're entrusted with somebody's life. That's people always give lawyers the bad image and the bad impression for defending the guilty, but they defend the innocent too. And
right. And guilty or not, everyone has the right to representation.
Yeah, they've got a higher level of standard to follow, though. That's why the review board for the bar and all that, and in order to make a decision based on fame over substance, then that tells me that this lady definitely has moral conflicts in her life, and I just would want her to keep her bar card. That's just a wrong internal position to take with people's lives.
Yeah,
that's how I feel. Mm-hmm.
To answer George really quickly, I've not heard Ann Taylor issue a statement or anything about this publicly.
Hopefully she doesn't. She just crawls into a rock and goes away.
What'd you say, Lewis?
I said, hopefully she doesn't. She just crawls under a rock and goes away. I have very, very limited amount of threshold to understand somebody in that position taking somebody's most important moments in life and throwing them in the garbage to take something for fame and glory. That's just wrong.
I do too. And that's how I feel about it too. Meaning, obviously, the judge wouldn't probably have known that she was representing that. I don't believe so. I mean, I'm going to listen to the people that are on the panels that literally are lawyers or, speakers for that are saying the same thing. So,
Lewis, are you going to judge me then when Grizzly True Crime asked me to join her show and I dropped Sunny?
Did she? No. You just want to go with Sunny Slaughter now. That's it.
If you were in a position to represent either one of them, then you'd have to judge you that way. But, I think you've got enough time to spare between both channels.
Yeah. Kind of reminds me of a certain person we know that did that. That you thought he was the most ethical person. And it, nothing to do with CD, by the way, because when I say the word cop, I just want to make sure that no one, because CD is a really good friend of ours here. It kind of reminds me of the same thing when they're clout chasing, stone stepping on other people, that help them out, and then they sit there and they literally toss you to the side because they're trying to rank themselves up there because they know which way their bread is buttered better. And stuff like that. And then they toss you to the side like you did nothing for them, as that person sits up there on his desk. How disgusting. There's a great example of that. You sit there and you help someone, get them to 1,000 viewers. You have them on your channel. You treat them like with the utmost respect. I make a video about freaking MOB crew. And about the car thing. And I was actually mad more about that News Nation posting it without doing their due diligence, And then they do that. Call a spade on that one. Like talking about people that stab you in the back. But, you put on a uniform and all of a sudden somehow you command respect. No. You judge a person by their ethics and kind of who they are. It doesn't matter if you have a badge or not. As we've seen in this case right here, you have 5 police officers that took this man's life, that literally beat this man to a pulp, and then they wonder why riots and stuff like that happen when they see stuff like that. Like, how horrific to know that these people that are supposed to protect you, that, there's a lot of the good ones, but just to even think in this day and age to me that somebody literally with all the camera footage, like, I don't get it. You guys tell me. Like, seriously. Take care, True Crime.
See you later, True Crime.
Yeah, like, seriously, tell me, like, what?
Right. To answer, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I just want to answer Melissa really quickly. I don't actually know what Maddie's parents' cases were. I knew Maddie's mother, I believe, and I'm not even going to say it because I looked it up when the case first happened, but I don't remember it, to be honest. I don't remember what the parents' charges were. Those cases I believe were both. Well, no, Maddie's mother was in jail after. Well, I'll have to look back into it. Do you remember, Sonny, what Maddie's parents' charges were?
No, I don't actually.
I know Xana's mom and Maddie's mom were in jail at the same time together. At one point.
I didn't know that. Like, I knew that I had seen somewhere that was said about Maddie's mom as well. So that's probably the same parent that was getting represented, obviously.
Both of Maddie's parents were represented by her.
Yeah. So I never checked that out. I only had seen it the other day about that.
I'll have to go on and look at it, that website. What's that website in Idaho called, Sonny? I can't remember.
Oh.
Like the My Case of Idaho?
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Adam, seriously, I haven't looked at it since today. I would just type in My Case Idaho because that's pretty much the same thing it is.
Pretty much. But yeah, I think My Case only covers Indiana.
No, but if you type in My Case, I believe it will come up. Sure. It's like Public Records Idaho, but it was very similar to my
Idaho.com. That's not the one. The fiber. That's not the one I'm thinking of. But
No, it's another one. Maddie's parents.
It's got a good name. It's got I think it's got an X in it. I can't remember.
Oh yeah, I haven't looked at it since that one particular day. To be honest.
Thank you, Shelly.
Where's that? She oh.
Is it I-Cord, Adam?
Ellie Bray Super Chat. $3.
No.
Thanks, Shelly.
Thank you, Deb.
I thought you said thanks, Callie. And I'm like, I don't see Callie's name there.
No,
and
it said Shelly. Sorry.
You must have clicked on it because it was like, I'm like, oh, well, it's sitting right on top of Shelly. Thank you very much, Shelly Bray. And again, for who's ever watching now, you guys could just hit that like button for us. Anything else you guys want to add to
yes, this was in Memphis, and he was pulled over for allegedly reckless driving. I know that some people in the police have said, or some people have said they on no cameras can they see any proof of reckless driving. But even if there was, it still doesn't warrant this behavior. But yeah, it was in Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah, just disgusting. Did Maddie's parents make it clear that Ann Taylor already defended them when she was first assigned to Brian?
I just found out about Maddie's parents being represented by her yesterday.
Yeah.
That was late last night that I found that out.
Yeah, that's pretty much, like I said, I just remember seeing it, but it was like yesterday or something. And I was like, oh. Okay, once.
It's so quiet.
Oh, when I'm not talking, you guys are allowed to speak when I'm doing something. It's okay. I'm not going to bite.
You muted yourself by accident. I was waiting for you to come back on, and I thought you were speaking.
No, it's just that I'm the one that has to spend all the time clicking off the different things and then switching behind screens. So let's bring up the Idaho 4 that came out today. And that is the sorry, let me just go back to that screen. I'm going to take us off this screen so I can make it bigger on this screen. I believe I got this. Okay, so this is the state's response for request for discovery on there. Adam, I'm not sure if you have that. I put it in our members group, but I don't know that I put it anywhere else. I was just kind of racing around with different things today. But so I'm not sure if you have it or not, but it's about 1, 6. Do you have it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll read the first 2 pages and then if you'll continue from there. Is that okay?
Let me find it really quick.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll just go through the first 2 pages. So the Latah County Prosecutor's Office, State of Idaho, with Brian Christopher Koberger, and to the defendant, Brian Christopher Koberger, and counsel Ann Taylor. And then, sorry, let me do this, and then I'll make this a little bit bigger here. And there we go. So comes now the state in the above titled matter and submits the following response to request for discovery. The state has compiled and will continue to comply with such request by providing the following. 1, any relevant written or recorded statements made by the defendant or copies thereof within the possession, custody, or control of the state, the existence of which is known or is available to the prosecuting attorney by the exercise of due diligence, and also the substance of any relevant oral statement made by the defendant, whether before or after the arrest to a peace officer. And then, of course, state's response to request. And let me just go down to number 2 here. So prosecuting attorney or prosecuting attorney's agent have been or will be disclosed or otherwise made available. See Exhibit A. 2, any written or recorded statements of a co-defendant and the substance of any relevant oral statement made by a co-defendant, whether before or after an arrest in response to the interrogation by any person known by the co-defendant to be a peace officer or agent of the prosecuting attorney have been or will be disclosed or otherwise made available. See Exhibit A. 3. Defendant's prior criminal record, if any, has been or will be disclosed or otherwise made available. See Exhibit A. 4. Let's see here. Any books, papers, documents, photographs, tangible objects, buildings or places or copies or portions thereof, which are in the possession, custody, or control of the prosecuting attorney and which are material to the preparation of the defense or intended for the use by the prosecutor as evidence at trial or obtained or belonging to the defendant have been or will be disclosed or otherwise made available. See Exhibit A. In addition, deputies and officers from the Latah Sheriff's County's offices, ISP, MPD, Idaho Fish and Game, and other law enforcement agencies may record their law enforcement contacts via an audio recorder or audio video recorder. Any audio or video recordings related to this matter are available for review and duplication on request, subject to the provisions of ICR 16B9, pursuant to the subsection and except as otherwise specified herein. Any such digital media is unredacted and may contain protected information. Thus, distribution is restricted by ICR 16 blah 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 blah, unless the state provides express written consent or order by the court. As a result, or reports of physical or mental examinations and of scientific tests, or and then it goes on to the 3.
Okay, so this is number 6.
The top page, Joe.
Oh, custody or control of the prosecuting attorney, the existence of which is known or is available to the prosecuting attorney by the exercise of due diligence, have been or will be disclosed or otherwise made available. See Exhibit A. A written list of the names and addresses of all persons having knowledge of relevant facts who may be called by the state as witnesses as the trial has been or will be provided separately in accordance with blank or ICR blah. Any record of prior felony convictions of any such persons which is within the knowledge of the prosecuting attorney, and all statements made by the prosecution witnesses or prospective prosecution witnesses to the prosecuting attorney or the prosecuting attorney's agents or to any official involved in the investigatory process of the case has been or will be disclosed or otherwise made available. See Exhibit A. Consistent with Ramirez v. State, 119 Idaho 1037, and Idaho Public Safety and Security Information Systems restrictions on dissemination of criminal history information, the state generally does not seek NCIC's reports or Spillman reports of witnesses. Additionally, the state may call as witnesses anyone otherwise identified or referred to in its reports, statements, or other documents referred to in this response. Any written summary or report of any testimony that the state intends to introduce pursuant to Rule 702, 703, or 705 of the Idaho Rules of Evidence at Trial or Hearing have been or will be disclosed or otherwise made available. See Exhibit A. This response does not necessarily include disclosure of expert witnesses, their opinions, the fact and data of those opinions, or the witness's qualification, intended only to rebut evidence or theories that have not been disclosed under this rule prior to trial. Any reports and memoranda in possession of the prosecuting attorney were page 4. Made by the police officer or investigator in connection with the investigation or prosecution of this case have been or will be disclosed or otherwise made available. See Exhibit A. All material or information within the prosecuting attorney's possession or control which tends to negate the guilt of the accused as to the offense charged or which would tend to reduce the punishment therefor have been or will be disclosed or otherwise made available. See Exhibit A. In addition, with regard to material or information which may be exculpatory or used or interpreted, the state requests that the defendant inform the state in writing of the defense which will be asserted in this case. So counsel for the state can determine if any material or information may be material to the defense and thus fulfill in duty its This is really boring, sorry. To the extent that the information exists regarding an informant who is not going to be produced as a witness, including recordings or written statements as of an informant or the identity of an informant, such information is not subject to disclosure, and the state asserts informant privileges under ICR and pays for appropriate protective orders pursuant to ICR 16.1 as necessary. The state objects to request by the defendant for anything not otherwise addressed above on the grounds that such requests are outside of the scope of ICR 16 and or what?
Did you notice that? And praise for appropriate?
Yeah.
Is that supposed to say pays or praise? And
Where's
praise?
it say that?
Well, just above 11 there. It says the state asserts informant privilege under ICR and prays for appropriate protective orders. So is that
and pray? Oh, I think it's supposed to say pays.
Okay, because I was like, and praise, like, okay,
right?
Yeah, so that caught me off there when you said
that.
Like,
they'll pray and pay.
Yeah. Okay.
Wherever this response indicates that the certain evidence or materials have been, will be disclosed or otherwise made available, such indications should not be construed as confirmation that evidence or materials exist, but simply as an indication that if such evidence or materials exist, that they have or will be disclosed or made available to the defendant. Furthermore, any item which are listed in Exhibit A but are not specifically provided or which are referred to in the documents which are listed as Exhibit A are available for inspection upon appointment with the prosecuting attorney's office. Additionally, all property forms, chain of custody documents, and similar items are likewise available for inspection on appointment and are hereby deemed to be part of Exhibit A for purposes of this response. Pursuant to ICR 16J, if the state subsequently discovers additional evidence or additional witnesses or decides to use additional evidence or witnesses, the state will promptly notify the defendant and the court. All right. You're muted.
I was trying to look at the last thing. It was just the thing signed by whatever Ann Taylor or whatever it said, something like that.
Yeah.
Like,
I didn't have that last page.
Yeah. It was just simply that. No offense, but as you're reading that, as I'm like almost nodding off, listening to like that same stuff over, that's when I think to myself, I could never do that. Like, that just looks all complicated. They're asking for this. And can you just imagine like all the evidence that you have to put into files and then they're requesting this and my goodness, the work.
It definitely did. It definitely did. They need to get that one cop that did the improbable cause affidavit in Idaho to write all of their court documents, because he at least made it sound interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Forgive me if we never read one of those boring ones again, if it's not pertinent. Because it's just really back and forth stuff between the prosecutors and the defense, and just them asking for this, them asking for the world, right. The prosecutor saying you ain't getting the world, then them coming back again, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah. Sadly, legal documents are not typically written, with the public in mind in reading them.
Well, it's like, I don't know. It's just kind of like a bunch of hogwashy stuff, and like when I'm listening to it, it's just like repetitive. Okay, we get it. You're not going to get this and this and this and photos and paperwork and this and that and TVs and whatever, blah 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 blah. But you're gonna, Hey,
I think I was halfway through that first page, and I was like, oh, I would not want to be sitting here listening to all this.
Well, Melissa, I'm pretty sure that before the show started, we was like, you know what, just because Melissa's gonna probably fall asleep, we're just gonna read it to her like it's a lullaby or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, we just didn't have any good vocals to it besides the boring vocals.
Probably you didn't put any music in the background.
Yeah, I know,
right? Sorry, Ray, for being a painful listen.
Huh. So when it comes to Idaho, you know, today's not really the day to go in depth or anything in it. So if there's any questions with regards to Idaho that anyone wants to bring up anymore than what we've already kind of talked about, we'll move on to Delphi. Unless there's something else that somebody wants to bring up before we move on to that. You know,
what do you, to sum that up, what did you feel was the gist of it? Like, I think Melissa asked. So was it basically saying you're not going to get everything you want?
Yeah. You asked for this, and we're going to counter back with, well, this is what we're going to give. We're not going to give you this stuff, but we're going to give you this stuff because you're not entitled to this stuff. And Is that kind of how it works, Lewis? Pretty much.
It's pretty commonplace. I just had to do discovery for something I'm doing too, and you know they'll ask for things that aren't even appropriate for the case, and they'll throw whatever they can in there to get as much information as possible to put their case together or their defense. And it's the other side's responsibility to only give them what's required. So if you've got like a law clerk working in your office and you're new, and they go through the request for discovery and they just assume that everything's okay, that can be a really bad situation, because a lot of times things that are asked for up front are like the kitchen sink. We're going to ask for everything possible and hopefully give us stuff that we want that's not required. But there is a limit as to what they have to give you.
So, Lewis, was that for one of your charges that you're up against?
Yes. Actually, I'm the plaintiff, so it's a little bit of a different situation. But yeah, they insurance companies asking for discovery, and they'll ask for all kinds of things to try to get you to put things in. If you're not being represented by legal representation, they actually go above and beyond asking what they want to get, because they think that you'll wind up putting your foot in your mouth and dumping your whole case in the desk in front of them. It's a bad assumption to make, but that's what they're supposed to do. If they don't do that, you don't have a good representation. They're not doing their job. There's no penalty for asking for stuff that you can say no to. I think Sonny's chanting in the background. Is she doing something for the bridge for the other guy that made the video?
Oh, wait. Is my voice thing on stuff?
Yeah. We were just listening to you back there doing homage to Bird.
Oh, okay. I'm just trying to figure out if I saved. Sorry.
Now, see, if you did that with what you just read, that would have made it go a lot more easy.
Sorry.
Why don't we do this? Let's do a replay. You go back off screen, you start doing that, and Adam, you start reading from page 1 again. I think that'll be a lot better for everybody that's listening.
How about Sonny starts reading and I'll be like
Yeah.
Yeah, we need like a techno beat in the background, something from a club.
Yeah.
It was funny because whenever I eat food, I do this stupid thing and I don't realize I'm doing it. And just kind of like when I was sitting there, I'm like, hitting my screenshots, thinking that I've done it. But whenever I'm eating food, I'm always like, I can't even remember what I do. Actually, I just do it naturally.
Sometimes you do it before the lives too. When we're just kind of sitting there doing getting stuff together, ready. You're like, do.
You're not supposed to sing when you've got food in your mouth. It's not safe. You could choke.
It's more what I call humming. It's not even.
We have to put up a choking disclaimer in the beginning of the videos if you're going to take a break like that again. We don't want any lawsuits against you choking on your food and us having to call CPR in.
Yeah, heaven forbid, eh? Okay. So let me just take that picture back off.
And then Steve Austin probably wouldn't answer my phone call when I called him and he's in the other room. And I'd be like, get in there.
I was. Oh, which reminds me. Again, thanks to my husband for joining us. Um, on Just Ask Lewis and Sunny the other night. If anyone hasn't seen it on Just Ask Lewis and Sunny channel, my husband joined us. It was Mr. Fix It night. Like I said, I mean, sometimes it's too bad it's so short because, like I said, you guys got a lot to offer when it comes to repairs and fixing. Like I said, my husband can do it all. Like there's a
you should make that a once a month segment.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, not like
I still can't get over the fact that he doesn't know the $6 Million Man show, and
he knows it because the
he's too young.
Would make fun of it.
Yeah, I know the age difference throws up, but you know.
I always like the $6 Million Man. If anyone doesn't know,
I mean, that's before my time, and I'm older than your husband.
Yeah, Steve Austin. Well, the thing is, like I said, his teacher would be like, and then Steve's like, but he's used to the Stone Cold Steve Austin because of his age versus the $6 Million Man, where I just remember seeing him in my chat going, oh, Steve Austin, $6 Million Man, and he was in there for a little while. And then one day I just happened to say to him, like, hey, Steve, because I know that this guy Mike was from England as well. So, and I knew that Steve was from England. So I was like, hey, have you seen this guy Mike kind of disappeared for a week? It was, when you're gaming and you have your little friend that you hang out with, and he just did a disappearing act for a week. And then me and Steve started talking. And then I remember this guy Mike came back a week later, and I'm like, I don't think I like you anymore, dude. You just, and so I said, I would rather have Steve that I've been talking to as a friend than you little dirtbag. You don't just disappear for a week and then, you know what I mean? Like that's what like I said, it's things like that people do to you that you're just like, get out of my life. Like if that's how you want to treat me, then get out of my life. And that's how I feel with anything. If you want to treat me like I mean or have little value to you, get the heck out of my life. I do not need you in it. And so my husband, you could just tell he was just a decent, great person, like just in his words. I look at words because obviously you're on the internet. And before we talked on camera, it's just about words, how it's no different than here. When I see people talking here too, you're reading the words that people say, and you can really tell the sweet ones, in a sense, because they're constant, whether they're constant compliments that try to build you up or say that you love that channel, you love our channel and stuff like that, and you can tell the sincerity behind the ones that, are really caring towards you in a sense, or the ones that are just here, like that basically come in and say, just give me my free knowledge and then I'm going to leave. And then I'm going to like unsubscribe after the live's over type of thing. But so it doesn't matter what kind. It takes up all kinds to make up the world. But in my world, like I said, I don't
like those really sweet ones like Ray Jones.
You know what? I mean, if we could have 1,000 Ray Joneses, if only he could clone himself over and over and over again. What would you? But yeah. So, anyways, I appreciate you guys. Again, you guys just have a vast amount of knowledge, totally out of my realm. But what's always funny though?
Hey Alexa.
Is when I say, husband, can you look at my phone? It's whatever. He's like, yeah, I don't know nothing about that. Oh. But if it was your phone, husband, would you it's funny how they claim, right? Don't know.
Grandma Watches made a comment I just wanted to address. Yeah. She said that she, didn't realize that they didn't have to hand over everything to the case. No. That's not always what's asked in discovery. Like, they could have asked for information from the defense about his personal life or past indiscretions or different charges from the past, and they don't have to give information over to the prosecution to help them build their case. And the same thing goes with the other side too. So it's not that they're denying information that's case related. Their questions could be based more on the person's character, and things that fall into that category have to be ruled on by the judge as whether they're admissible or not. And if you hand them over before the judge says they're admissible, then the other side already has that information, and it's a moot point. So you always have to scrutinize what they ask you for, but case-related stuff that's direct usually has to be given over.
Thank you, Lewis.
Yeah. I just didn't want her to think that I meant they could say no to everything. There's got to be a line drawn, you know. And Sonny's muted again.
Righto. Right.
You're back.
Pretty good at doing that. I know. When I realize that my lips are moving, and then I hear that, I'm like, huh, not again. I feel like.
Were you singing again?
What?
Were you singing again?
Just grabbing a few things. Okay, what time is it? It's 7:33.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, we better move on to Delphi.
Because that starts at 8, right?
Yeah.
Oh. I was thinking 8:30. I should have done 8:30. I guess I can still do it. Well, that's kind of late for other people, though. Oh,
well,
crap.
I mean, we can finish in like 15 minutes. We can talk about Delphi and then.
Okay, Delphi. Let's see. Okay, so let me just grab my picture then. Well, let me bring this out for a sec. When I was doing something in to tell Delphi, I think I was sharing something, or something popped up in my feed or something like that. And then I know that these are from August 19th of 2022. Oh God, I can't even read that myself. Ooh, yeah, I can't even read that myself, to be honest with you. Let me see if is any of these better looking. Comes now the state, verified motion to seal. Comes now the state of Indiana by Miami County Chief Deputy Prosecuting Attorney Peter Dietrichs, and moved to court to seal the agreed order of the parties submitted with this motion. So, like, basically what these are is a bunch of sealing stuff with Kagan Klein. And so I think that Frank had something about, being an informant or whatever. I'm not going to go through all these. My question to you guys is simply this. Do you guys that are in chat right now, all whole 65 of you, do you guys feel that Kagan Klein offered up information with regards to Delphi? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Just simple as that. 1 for yes, 2 for no. And then I'm going to go grab something again.
Watch what you grabbed there.
Huh?
I said, watch what you grabbed there.
Take myself off the screen for a sec. Let's see.
So, Adam, what is the document that's on the screen? I can't make that out.
It's a verified motion to seal.
I'm sorry, a verified motion for?
Verified motion to seal.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just grabbing these photos. I thought I'd already downloaded them or whatever. Doesn't matter.
It's funny. Earlier today, I was talking with some other friends in a group that they run, and it was about that case from 2 years ago. It was 2021, I believe. The 14-year-old that had assaulted the younger girl and took her life, and they put up the different charges they were holding against him for that. And I had gone and made a comment. What's that?
The 14-year-old in Michigan or wherever it was. The one that was on her bike.
In Indiana.
Oh, okay. Not the little girl that was on her bike.
And it was just so telling, the charges that they put forward with that. And that was in 2021. And I'd made a comment that, when you look at the charges they're putting together in a case when they've got lots of evidence, sure are different when it's linked to a case like Delphi, and they just specifically take that one charge. And it just backs up that gut feeling I have that they think they can only prove kidnapping. And the rest of the case, I think, has some issues.
Oh, hey, Nick. He's been around. he's been still trying to leech his way into the case. And he was on somebody's channel whose I don't remember anymore. And he was basically, I don't know. I felt like he was giving love. I don't feel like it was hate. I feel like it was a lot of love that he was giving us, saying that, like we're the elite for Delphi and stuff like that. Well, you kind of got that right. There's a few channels out here that are pretty main Delphi for the most part.
Greeno Cellmate likes us.
Yeah, Greeno. Higgins? Or is it Greenos? Oh, Greenos. No, Greenos. Is that what he was asking?
I'm reading the screen. Nick says, have you seen Greeno's Cellmate around?
Oh, nobody probably changed the name or something there, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people do that, right? Kind of like that Jonathan Lee Richards that was in Chaotix thing yesterday. At first, I wasn't paying attention, and then I replied to her comment, and I was like, wait a second. That's Jonathan Lee Richards, not Richards. Obviously, this person's made an account, and, of course, I mean, did you see the sweet haikus and love in Chaotix he was given, and stuff like that?
Yeah, you guys were having a little love fest.
I feel like it was, I don't feel like he was a troll at all, calling himself Jonathan Lee Richards. No, I don't think at all. I mean, who would think? But anyways, all that stuff is very laughable to me, to be, like I say. I just have a good laugh at it, to be honest with you. But then when I saw him in there, I was like, LOL. Because before I wasn't really paying attention earlier. But anyways, so you guys, I want to bring back up this right here with Delphi, because I don't know how, like I said, I know a lot of people kept saying that this was some sort of undergarment, and unfortunately I still don't have the answer back yet, but I'm hoping to, but not to say I will for sure get it, but I'm kind of hoping to. But there's no way to me that this is any which way, shape, or form an undergarment at all. No undergarment whatsoever. Again, I was hoping for confirmation today, but that didn't happen. So I could tell you, but it didn't. So hopefully it will. But I can't promise that either way. I can say that for me personally, let me just bring it up off the screen better like that. And then, sorry, Nick, your smiley face is going to have to come off. And so, obviously part of this is underneath the water here. And I brought up this picture mostly for the fact of showing you, like, if somebody truly looked at this picture and then they knew that this shirt was right here. And Gavin, I just wish you would take off all your stinking things. Like, did you have to do so many, dude? Running across the whole darn pictures. But anyways, right here, you can tell it's kind of like a chain, like some sort of link, like a chain link or something. And to me, this is either, I don't think it's pants. I really believe that this is some sort of knapsack / purse. I think it's more of a knapsack, to be honest with you, like a kind of almost like those white drawstring knapsacks, that have the little flappy thing right here. And I remember looking at some today, and somebody sent me one as well, and probably should have brought that. But just this in itself, with the whole little, like, kind of like linky look here. I'm not sure if you guys can really make that out too well. But if you guys go look at the pictures yourself, which you guys totally have access to, there's like a design of something here, and there's like this link thing here, and there's like a little clutchy thing here, whatever. I think it's more of a knapsack. I'm gonna totally write it off that it has nothing to do with an undergarment whatsoever. There's just no way. It doesn't look like an undergarment. If anything, it perhaps looked like pants that get turned inside out. But Libby doesn't wear, she wears sweatpants, that she wears sweatpants. Unfortunately, you're doing the dishes. Yeah, I gotta get over these dishes. You got sis a little Alexa. Unfortunately, yeah, Alexa has a stomach ache. Drank her smoothie too fast is what happened there.
Sorry, Alexa. We love you.
So I wanted to ask something, and I haven't looked at Kelly's answer, different Kelly. There's different Kellys to see, but because when I was looking at Julie Melvin's video with Snowburger, he said he was talking to a 19-year-old. But did he ever say that she was going to meet the guy? I got someone from Snapchat that day.
I don't believe she said that.
Yeah, I don't think that he said that.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. I mean, he did say that, yeah, she was talking to a 19-year-old off Snapchat. So then that kind of more, if that was the case, then that would kind of lead me more to believe that Libby's intent on going to the bridge that day wasn't necessarily perhaps to meet up with someone, and she just went to go hang with Abby and take pictures and whatever. And that more so that Kagan Klein, and however Richard Allen fits into the whole thing, gave the location because she let it be known where she was going to be ahead of time, probably. You know, I mean, it's just it's very twisted, that whole little area. It's very twisted how Kelsey and Becky, although they have different variations of how it went that morning a little bit about the upstairs, because I was even listening to it last night. Kelsey said that, you know, Libby came upstairs to the bathroom, and, you know, so who knows how it all transpired. But the gist of it is that Max was saying that the night before, on the 13th, Libby knew that she would be going to the bridge, though. Like, she already knew that. Whereas Kelsey and Becky are under the impression that it didn't happen. Meaning it was a day, like there was no plans for it. But yet there was a plan, because Max Snowburger said that they had a conversation that night about her going to the bridge or whatever. And that was on the 13th, not the 14th. So you see how
the 12th?
The
night of the 12th?
Sorry, the night of the 12th. Yeah, the night of the 12th. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, Deb, I've heard that. I don't remember Max saying it in that interview with Julie, but I have heard that, that as well.
That's what I remembered too, Deb, and that's why in my head I was like, okay, so did she go there without actually thinking to meet someone, and she was just going to go have a day, but because she gave away her location, in a sense that's why, you know. But the thing is, that was in my head too, because I have heard he told her not to meet him, but that would have been through Julie Melvin. So I wanted just to confirm that from Julie Melvin, if that was the case, because of that. So can you check with her for me, Adam?
Sure.
Yeah, I believe
I'll text her tomorrow.
You know, on there. Okay. But okay. So are you, just to ask you guys in chat again. So are you guys still under the, because even if you look at the picture right now, when you zoom it in, like I know that I'm on a desktop, so I can see it better, but you can tell that this is a link of some sort, you know, like a chain link. Like I said, it's like a
cord.
It's not even, I wouldn't even call it a cord as much as and it could be a cord over here. I think it could be a cord over here, but it comes off more like when a female has some sort of purse and it has links to it, you know, like little metal links to it.
I don't see that.
Pardon?
I don't see that.
You don't see it right here? Right here?
I see where you're referencing it, but I don't see like a linked chain looking item.
Well, I don't know. Are you?
But again, I'm on my iPad, so maybe if I pulled it up on my computer, I'd see it bigger.
I was gonna say, I mean, I seen it pretty clearly on my iPad, but I see it clear on this picture here on my desktop. And I can clearly see this like corded. I mean, it could be a corded. It could be corded, Adam. But it comes off looking like whatever it is a braid or a link of some sort. You can tell that it's running, you know, like how a link would run, or a braided cord type of item.
Right. That's what I guess I just assumed it was a braided cord because I'm thinking in my mind like a kind of like a drawstring knapsack, You know, the kind that, you know, when you pull the cord, it tightens, it closes the top of it.
Correct. Right.
You know, you think you're referring like those bags that are common at like sneaker stores?
Yeah, exactly. Like Adidas makes several of them.
Well, I was gonna say, I mean, I had them on my iPad. I had taken pictures, and what did I have? I think I had I know cloth knapsack. I think I put in when I did it. I think I even spelled knapsack
Or
wrong.
drawstring knapsack
Yeah.
or whatever.
I'll show you. I'll just stop screen for a sec, and okay, you know, like
yeah, precisely like that.
You know,
like that third one.
Well, there was one I seen like this. Okay, remember how we talk about that folded thing?
Yeah.
Get off there. You know, but the thing is that the one that she has, if that's a knapsack, it has this folded cuff. Remember, Lewis, that we speak of?
Yeah.
Right. So I see it more, but there was one that was a lot more similar to this look, but yet had the flap on.
Yeah, I've seen them with a flap, and I like that black one, and the second one is kind of the style I was thinking of.
Yeah. Close enough. You know, having the flap, and then see like how I say the cord thing. So maybe it's like a pocket that's coming off like links on the side there. Adam?
Sadly, I look at that and I'm like, ooh, which one do I like?
Yeah. So let's see here. I'm still wondering if it's a tank top or undershirt of some kind. Well, I mean, again, you know, it depends how much time you spend looking at it, to be honest, because the only way you're really going to find out is if someone tells you, or someone can prove that it's something other than that. Now, because I take, you know, a deeper dive than most people into pictures, to me, it has nothing to do with any sort of undergarment at all. And even pants. Libby doesn't wear pants that if you take them out that there's some sort of liner, but it was February, but it was a warm day. And I believe you said, Adam, she was wearing gray sweats that day. So Libby doesn't wear lined. I've seen Libby's jogger pants, and they're all your typical basic. If you take them off, they're black inside, you know, typical jogging pants. Not seeing it. I'm seeing more of cords of knapsack, some pursey thing, but I'm going to go with a knapsack more than a purse. I'm going to take it as a drawstring type knapsack. That's what I see. In the TV heli vid, you see photographer for flashlights, right? Then the heli's flying over the woods. You see a path. Same on Google Earth, the path from the green between Logan's Lodge and the cemetery. Yeah.
Did you read Stepha's comment there? I've not seen that, Stepha. I'll have to look at it closely.
What'd she say? Did you guys see a witch on the top right of the diaper or whatever it is? There's a witch with her hat and black dress. On what? You guys see
her Ambien.
Tell you these.
Hey, Stepha. I'll look. I did not see that.
I think that's your eyes playing tricks on you. Unless, of course, she's probably trying to inference Halloween, the fact that Libby liked Halloween, and that somehow this witch is coming out of it. Stepha, that was probably a picture of yourself you were looking at, or Deb, one of the two.
No, Ambien.
Yeah. But in comparison to the flashlights, crime scene tape, the path the bodies were found more right than the official's version. Well, in the comparison with the flashlights, crime scene, the path the bodies were found more right than the official's version. I mean, for me, I know where the crime scene is. So I guess for me in my head, I'm like reading that going, makes no difference, I guess, because I already can see where the crime scene is in comparison to the water. So I'm not sure what you're trying to reference there, George, to be honest with you. Unless you're just simply trying to say that it's a little bit off to the one side a little bit more than what was said on there. Yeah, I don't see that at all. But I mean, hopefully we can get an answer for that. I would like to. I'll try. I thought I remember in a video once that Kelsey said that she wore something because it was Libby's, and I thought it was her knapsack. But I'm too lazy to go figure out which video that would be in. Say it's a knapsack, which side would be the top opening? Well, that's just it. Because that's what I'm still trying to figure out a little bit too. Because if to me, if this is, one second, if this is a flap, this can't be the drawstring to me because the flap's coming this way. Like the flap line is coming this way. So I don't know if I don't know, to be honest with you, unless this flap is folded the wrong way when really it should be on the other side, but just because it's in the water and probably getting pushed by the water, that perhaps this is the drawstring. If anything, probably to me, this would be the drawstring part of it.
Oh, you know, I see what Steffa sees now, but I don't think it's actually.
Oh, she's talking about this.
Yes, it does look like that though, but
that's what she's talking about. Yeah, that's just obviously a shadow from the Leafs that's playing that trick. I get it.
I do see it though.
Yeah, well, Steffa, I mean, at least we know you now. You're not crazy. It was actually there. Helivid, flashing light, shining tape, pathwood, Helivid. Then on Google Earth, paint in a map. Everyone try it. It takes 5 minutes. Helivid, flashlight, shining tape, pathwoods. I feel like George. I feel like you're hurting my brain right now. I'm not comprehending. Flashlight, shining tape, pathwoods, Helivid, and then Google Earth. Paint it in a map. How about you paint it in a map? Send it to me at my email, and then I'll show it on the next live. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Well, Steffa, we didn't say you're not. We just said I see it.
Yeah.
I think we might have to switch that to 11:30.
No.
Okay.
I think we're just gonna head on over. To be honest with you, I'm gonna make it for 15 minutes from now, though.
I mean, what about my wardrobe change?
Yeah, right. I'm just gonna go back.
Oh, she left us. Are you there, Lewis?
Yeah, I had to run down here real quick. I'll be back on video in a minute. But she did disappear, didn't she?
Yeah, I think she went to move the live.
Okay. Now I heard you guys talking, but I couldn't read anything. What was Steffa saying she saw in the picture?
Oh, she said she saw you with your patch. That's what she saw, and we're like, no, Steffa, that looks like a witch. And then Deb spoke up and said, yeah, that was me. And I was just like,
yep. You see,
so Deb is a witch wearing a patch?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And Steph is on the Lush again.
Alone at last. Exactly, Deb.
Yeah. I keep forgetting that I could just open up a different StreamYard and change the time there instead of hopping back out like I did. So that's our story, and we're sticking to it. Now, if anyone isn't a member and wants to come over and see the messages, because the message will not be shared, distinctly on any other live at this point for sure anyways. And to be honest with you, the messages will be shown, but I'm not going to allow people to. I don't feel like I toss between my morals on this one, because the messages, are from a family member that's speaking and somebody talking. I feel it's best that I'll quickly show you the messages, and Lewis knows them to be true. There's a couple that know them to be true and genuine, which we would never pose something to be truthful and then try to manipulate you guys. You guys know that. But I don't really want people taking screenies of them and then them being out there. I think that there's enough um, stuff out there without people taking screenshots of these as well. I really, yeah, like I don't,
Yeah.
I don't mind sharing them with you guys and reading what's in them with leaving a couple things out, but I really don't want to put them out there to be screenshotted as well. But I will post them up quickly just so that you can see that. Well, I mean, you guys can see them actually right now. The fact that, I mean, that they were sitting in the bottom here of this window. Right here, you guys can see that, right? So this is the one. This is just showing it's a crime and shame on there, but those weren't for the intent of showing them on anything else besides just to go here. Here's a quick look. These ones I did here was I was still deciding if I was going to show them or just simply read them. And I tossed it throughout the day. And I felt like I really don't want, doesn't matter how genuine you are as a person and so that you won't share them. There's no need. I don't feel the need that I really want people to have access to these. And we all know that someone's going to take them from the members and then share them with somebody else. It's just going to happen. And I just prefer, for the sake of the person who sent them, that just to minimize it. But,
I think that statement needs to be made also at the beginning, extremely emphasized, because I'm thinking that the people you would be more concerned about are probably not in this stream, but will be in the members only live.
Correct. Yeah. So I just think that that's the fairest way I could do it to feel comfortable with. Yeah. I just like I said, there's enough screenshots out there of different things, and this isn't to try to hurt anyone. It's just really to bring some awareness and maybe can understand a little bit of somebody else's pain during the time, or the thoughts going on. And I don't think it's really rocket science. I mean, most people that have a brain cell, will probably know who's being spoke of, to be honest with you. The person has not really not put himself out there. But it's just, yeah. Anyways, we'll talk about that in the members live. So if anyone isn't a member and wants to become one, up to you. Spend that $1.99 or don't spend it. Totally up to you. Either or. The members, we'll see you in the live in 14 minutes. But it's just really your guys, up to you. I get really, I'm sorry. I can't help it by that one check that was like, with these people that go, it's not fair. And then I'm like, spend the $1.99 then and become a member for 1 month if you really care that much about it, or don't. No one's forcing you to, and then you get called clickbait and stuff like that. But like those people, it just bugs me that people literally are that, that they literally want to think of themselves only, and why it's not fair to get that information as well. Really? Because you don't deserve it. The members pay to be members. There's a difference between people that get the information for free, and then there's certain things that are, especially that are more delicate. I'll say more delicate. That's probably a better way of saying it. It's more delicate.
Do you remember the old TV commercials for, I think it was a credit card, where it says membership has its privileges?
Yeah. Membership has its privileges.
American Express.
Don't
Yes.
leave home without it. Yeah. It's not hard. It's as simple as this. This is the join link for somebody to become a member. All you need to do is hit join, and it basically asks you, how do you want to pay for that $1.99? That's as simple as it is to hit the join button. But you have to, I'm not sure on phones exactly how to do it now, but all you need to do is go to It's a Crime and Shame. I can't help somebody more than that. Besides, the join button is right there on the channel. I'm not sure how it looks on a phone. I don't use my phone, you guys. I use my iPad and a desktop.
My OnlyFans ain't free.
It's just the self-rights thing sometimes that gets me, that people think that they should be allowed to have this information.
It's called 1-900 for a reason,
right? And so it's nothing against the people that don't want to become a member, but like I said, but it's for the members. It's simple as that. It's not something that we want out there full blown across the internet. We want privacy to it. There you go, CPJ. That wasn't so hard. So top the goal today, 69 people. So thank you, PJ. So that's exactly how these are. So PJ, you will go to the community page. Okay. So on
just go to the membership tab.
Sorry, go to the membership tab. And yeah, yours was easy, but it did take me to a different page. Yeah. And Kyle said, I'm gonna stop being a cheap butt and become a member. I remember that. He said that last week. And really that's really what it comes down to, is that
it's funny, like we talked about earlier, if you can't sign up for the membership, find yourself a significant other.
Right. That was so funny. Oh my goodness. That you guys stop the goal today. Stop the goal today. What was that one? Must have been something else. I just heard it go off again.
Yeah, I didn't see anything pop up on StreamYard.
No, me neither. That was so funny, Lewis. I mean, seriously, that was probably one of the best. That was probably one of the best ones that I had seen. Let me just go get it, because it was funny.
I thought you get a laugh out of that one.
Oh yeah, that was funny as crap. Let me just find it. Turkey.
It's funny how these different things actually spell out the right thing. When you go back and look at it, it's like, was it originally intentional?
I know, right? It says, always make sure someone in the relationship has good credit. That's why it's called significant other. And if you break it down, it says, sign if I can't.
That's funny.
That was funny. Follow me for more marriage tips. That's so funny.
That's funny.
Sign if I can't. That is just an amazing one. Never even thought that significant had those 4 words in it. Sign if, I mean, honestly, it's just funny.
And then before we leave, I do want to remind everyone that Tuesday night at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, we are going to have Drunk Turkey Show on.
Yep.
So please make sure you join us for that. It is not our normal night, but it will be at 8:30 on. Yeah. Or 8:30 Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday night.
Yeah. And I'll just talk with Lewis and figure out what time we'll do the Just Ask Lewis and Sunny.
Yeah, we'll figure something different out.
Yeah. And it's Lewis's week to pick the topic.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget, it's Member Share Week.
Yep.
Okay. But that is a great meme, isn't it? Okay, you guys. Again, if you guys could give a like and a share to this. And again, sorry, when there's a lot going on sometimes with the different cases, and only because we have a members one coming up, it gets more rushed a little bit. But Sunday night, we'll see what comes up. But
and Alexa will be with us Tuesday as well. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that.
Correct. Alexa will be joining us on Tuesday as well. She absolutely opened up her calendar. She said, "You know what, Sunny, I got stuff to do, but I was like, well, a VWAX doesn't count. That you reschedule."
Nice to Alexa.
Yeah, and then she's like, no. It was a school teacher meeting, but I'm going to go to one on a different day because just for you, Sunny, be there. It was something like that. Alexa knows.
Hey, Grizz.
Mm-hmm. So anyways, you guys, we're going to move over to the live. in about 8 minutes time to the members live. Again, please hit the thumbs up, and thank you for anyone that made donations tonight or became a member. And other than that, thanks so much. And we'll see you in about 8 minutes for the people that are members. Okay, guys? So love you. Thank you. Have a great night for the rest of the people that aren't. And we'll see you on Sunday.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Instead of ending the broadcast, she left. Okay, I'm going to end the broadcast, everyone. Have a good night.